You say what?
I confess.
What? What are you confessing to?
Wait, is my baby sister too? Is your baby sister 5?
I said he's in the basement, in the refrigerator.
This is Azuradee France, the woman who nonchalantly lived and raised 5 other children right above where her disabled son was slowly decaying. She concocted a story of misery to receive welfare benefits for caring for a child with visual impairment. However, the police were shocked to discover she was hiding a horrific secret inside a refrigerator in the basement. This is the portrait of cold-blooded selfishness and severe harmful actions against a defenseless child. Today, join with Liu Crew as we peel back the layers of Azuradee France's mask to uncover the chilling truth behind the interrogation footage.
In the refrigerator.
You said he's in the basement in the refrigerator.
In June 2022, in Detroit, Michigan, police brought a woman in for questioning after a disturbing discovery was made at her home. According to investigators, at approximately 12:45 a.m. on June 24th, police were called to check on a 3-year-old blind boy. At this moment, perhaps health checks exist precisely because something is wrong. A checkup like this isn't random. It's often the final sign before an underlying situation is exposed. There's no emergency call, no report of violence, just a simple question. Is the child okay?
What's your son's name?
Check Allen.
How old is he?
3.
Okay, where is he?
What's her name?
What name?
I gave my old friend, a friend of mine.
Okay, where does she live?
That information is in my iPhone.
Do you have your phone?
No.
You have a phone number?
No, it's in my iPhone.
Where's the phone?
It's not here.
Where's the phone?
It's broken. The only phone I have is
So it's not here, it's broken. Where is it broke or is it just not here? Or is it both?
this. No, it's not here.
How long has baby been gone?
3 months.
3 months?
Mm-hmm.
So has baby been with a friend for 3 months?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I asked family members to get him because I just had a baby and he's blind and he needs special attention. And she stepped in to help us.
Okay, where does she live at?
I'm not sure.
So you gave your baby to somebody that you don't know her whereabouts, you don't know where she lives, you don't know her phone number, you don't know none of that.
No.
Okay, can we come in and make sure he's not in his house?
Do you have a search warrant?
Well, I'm asking you for permission. Can we come in and check this house for this child?
Yes, those were her words. But unexpectedly, when the police asked to search the house, she said this.
You say what?
I confess.
What?
Confess
What are
to
you confessing to?
What'd you confess to? What you do?
Can I talk to you in private, please?
Put cuffs on him.
Next, what officers find instead is something no one is prepared for. Down in the basement, inside an old freezer, they discover the decomposing remains of a young child. That child is Chase. Suspicion then focused on the mother, 31-year-old Azuradee France.
Yes or no?
I'm gonna guess it's in the bag. I don't have those.
I don't either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A child with a disability, blind, dependent, unable to find food or help for themselves, is incredibly vulnerable. From their perspective, this finding is not just a tragedy, it exposes a complete breakdown of caregiving responsibility. In the interrogation room, Azuradee explains how the night began.
And you can explain to me everything that took place and the whole story, okay? So let's start with what happened tonight, okay? Like how it all began.
I was laying down watching TV and I saw the flashlights in the window.
What time do you think that was?
I'm not sure. I didn't look at the time.
Well, how long do you think it's been since that point to right now?
Oh.
A little bit over an hour?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I opened the door and I said yes, and they said they were here to do a well-being check.
So you opened the door and you saw it was the police?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And he said they're here to do a well-being check. And I said, okay.
For what?
Chase Allen, my son.
For Chase?
Mm-hmm.
Allen?
My son.
Okay.
And they asked me where was he, and okay, I did lie. I said he was with someone, he wasn't.
Who'd you say he was with?
A lady, a friend.
A friend. Do you remember the name you told them?
Miss Robertson.
Miss Robinson?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is there such a person, or you just made that up?
I just made that up.
Okay.
You heard that right. Azuradee has admitted she lied.
So they didn't believe you, or?
I guess not, because they came back.
Oh, so they left? So you told them he was with Mrs. Robinson. And how long before they came back?
10, 20 minutes.
Okay, so when they came back, then what happened?
They said they needed to check the house.
and make sure he wasn't there.
Yeah. So that's when I opened the door and said, okay, I confess.
You said, I confess?
Yes. I said he's in the basement, in the refrigerator.
You said he's in the basement in the refrigerator?
Yes. Did you see that expressionless face at that moment? Her tone was striking, calm, cold, and more focused on herself than on the child who had just been confirmed deceased. According to investigators, the body of Chase Allen, a 3-year-old boy with disabilities and son of Azuradee France, was found in a freezer in the basement of the house. The subsequent investigation quickly concluded that the boy's death was not of natural cause, but was linked to malicious activity.
And then they handcuffed me, put me in the back of the car. But I did not beat my son. I didn't. He was malnourished.
Okay, hold on. We'll get there. So they handcuffed you and they took you into custody and put you in the back of the police car.
Yes.
And then they brought you down here.
Yes.
Okay. So you said you didn't beat your son.
No, I didn't.
She says Chase had serious medical needs. He was blind. He had trouble eating. She claims he slowly stopped taking food altogether.
So can you tell me how he passed?
He wasn't eating. Okay, he's blind and he's medical issue. So
He's blind and what else?
He wouldn't eat or anything. He needed special attention.
If a child stops eating, the necessary response is medical attention, not waiting. She seems to have failed in her responsibility. But according to the affidavit, no medical records support a condition that would explain total food refusal. Investigators also found no evidence of recent medical visits or attempts to seek treatment.
And so I tried to wake him up that morning and he didn't wake up. He wasn't breathing or anything. So I laid him on the hallway floor and I thought to myself, I said, what am I going to do? I picked up my phone and I was finna call I was scared. So I just took an immunization.
So how long ago was that?
The end of March.
The end of March?
Yeah.
So you're saying you woke up one morning and he was already dead?
Yes.
He died in his sleep?
Yes, he had to because he wasn't breathing. I was about to wake him up.
Where did he sleep?
And along with the kids.
In a bed by himself or?
Yes. The kids was in my room and he was in the...
By himself?
Yep.
And he's how old?
3.
And when you say he wasn't eating, were you trying to feed him?
Yes, I was. I went and bought the powder from GNC, the weight powder.
Protein
and
powder.
I bought the insurance. I did everything I could. He wasn't eating. And I was...
They were trying to take him to the doctor?
I was scared. I was scared that they was going to take my other kids. I was so scared.
So how long had he not been eating?
A couple weeks.
And you never took him to the doctor or anything to try to figure out what was going on? Because you were afraid they were going to take your other kids?
Yes.
She claims she feared authorities would remove her other children. Prosecutors noted this explanation conflicted with her actions afterward, including continuing to collect benefits and maintaining daily routines. Do you think this fear stems more from concerns about being monitored and losing benefits than from worry for Chase?
But if it's
because he was malnutrition.
Right, but if it's a medical condition.
I shouldn't take him. Did the right thing.
But okay, so at the end of March, you're saying you woke up one morning.
Because I made the kid breakfast and I went in there to get him up and I gave him some water and he fell back down. So I'm like, he's not breathing.
What do you mean he fell back down? So he was up?
No, he wasn't up. I set him up, but he wasn't responding.
Was he cold? I mean...
Yeah, he was.
As you heard, Azuradee, who is reportedly raising 5 other children, denies any harm to her son. She says the incident was related to increased stress levels when the boy refused to eat. But the forensic expert's conclusion later went in a different direction. Chase's cause of death was determined to be traumatic brain injury. And listen carefully to what she's about to say. You'll be surprised.
See,
I did not beat. I didn't touch him or anything. I put that in my dead brother. I didn't.
You were able to move him around?
Yes. I was scared. I didn't know who to call.
So you woke him up, you sat him up, you tried to wake him up. He wasn't awake.
No. I felt his heart. He wasn't breathing.
So you tried to sit him up, he fell back down.
Yes.
You laid him in the hallway. And then you decided you were going to call, but you were scared that they would take your other kids?
Yes. My feet, I dialed 911 on my phone, but it didn't know different.
So you put him in the basement?
Yes.
So explain to me at that point exactly what you did.
Okay, I found one of the pad bags and I put him in
Like a laundry bag?
Yep. And then I walked him downstairs and put him in the basement one. But I was
So you put him in the bag first?
yes.
She claims it was working at first. Later, she says, it stopped.
Upstairs?
In the hallway.
You put him in the bag, then you carried the bag down into the basement?
Yes.
And you have a refrigerator in the basement?
A freezer.
Is it like a
It was there when I moved there. It's like
well, describe it to me. Does it look like a refrigerator, or does it look like one of those like deep freezers that's kind of like this big?
No, it's an old back in the day refrigerator. Like it doesn't have a freezer.
Just one big refrigerator.
Yep.
Like one big, like a door.
Yep.
Is it plugged in? Was it working?
It was working, but I don't know what happened. And I swear I was going to turn myself in everything. I was
So at the end of March, so you put him in there, and then that was it.
yes.
Weeks turned into months. Azuradee continued living in the home with her other children, while Chase's body remained hidden. She later claimed she went downstairs once to pray.
You never checked. You never tried to move the body. You never tried to do anything with it.
Well, I went down there like a couple of weeks ago, and I just got on my knees and prayed.
When did you discover that the refrigerator wasn't working?
Last week.
Last week.
Yes.
So when you initially put him in there, the refrigerator was working.
Yes, it was.
Okay.
Here you will notice the contradiction of praying without acting, meditating without taking responsibility, and months of inaction while continuing with daily life. Investigators documented no attempts to notify family members, medical professionals, or authorities during this period.
I did not beat him or anything. He just little eat. He wasn't eating. Like, I did call my dad and say, Dad, he's not eating. I don't know what to do. And they did tell me to take him to the hospital, and I didn't listen.
Investigators begin asking the questions that don't have easy answers.
So since March, none of your family members or anybody have asked like where he's at or anybody and what?
I kept lying and said he was at his home. And I wanted to open up to him, but I was so scared.
Okay. Before we write all that down, I just want to get a few things from you. Your deceased son, his name is Chance?
Chase.
Chase? C-H?
A-Y-C-E.
A-Y-C-E? Last name is what?
Ellie.
And what's his date of birth?
9/18.
So he's almost going to be 4.
Yes.
And you have how many other children? Who all was home when that happened?
Just me and the kids.
Nobody else lives there. None of your baby daddies, no boyfriend. They're not going to find, because they're searching the house right now. So there's no male clothing or somebody's stuff there that lives there.
He wasn't there at the time.
Who's he?
My baby daddy.
What's his?
I lied and told him he was with, because he did ask, and I told him he was with a lady, but he don't know he was in the basement.
And where's he right now?
At work, I think.
Where's he work at?
Landscaping.
At night? They don't cut grass at night.
Well, he was at work earlier. I'm sorry. I don't know where he is now.
What's his phone number?
He sleeps in the driveway.
He doesn't sleep in the house?
No. No, he doesn't, because me and him are not together. But he asked to just stay there until he get himself together.
But his stuff's in the house?
Yep.
What kind of car does he drive?
A black Tahoe.
Black Tahoe?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what year?
No. I'm not sure.
Is it newer, older?
Maybe older.
Anything descriptive about you can tell me about it that stands out? Is it tinted, big wheels, anything?
Just the old Tahoe.
Is it rusted up, banged up, accident damage, anything?
Yeah. My kids do also tell you that he sleeps in the car too.
I understand if you're trying to protect somebody.
No, I'm not.
Hold on. Okay. Like, I just want to make sure. And I'm not accusing you of lying to me or trying to be an a-hole or anything like that, okay? Just hear me out, okay? I understand this is your baby daddy. That's the father of some of your kids. If something happened and you're trying to cover up for him, you need to think about your other kids.
No,
And you need to be there for them.
no, you
So if he did something to that child,
no, he,
and you're trying to cover up for him, you should just, you need to tell me.
no, I swear on my kids, I swear.
So you tell me for the last
Yes, and
4 months.
you can call my dad too, cause he, me and him got into it, and my dad made him move out. And ever since then, he been sleeping in the driveway.
I understand that he's been sleeping in the driveway, but what I'm saying is, so for 4 months, he didn't ask.
Yes, he asked, and I
He
just,
never didn't. I mean, 4 months is a long time for a kid to be away.
Yeah.
And for him not to wonder where this child is. He's not the father of that child?
No, he was wondering where he was. He kept asking, and I kept lying and saying he was with someone.
So
He kept saying that didn't sound right to him.
where's Chase's dad?
Incarcerated.
He's in jail. None of his family members ever came and visited the child or anything like that? Grandma, nothing?
Yeah.
Okay.
According to records reviewed, Azuradee had been the subject of numerous complaints and investigations by Child Protective Services, as well as allegations of mistreatment of a child in previous years. Despite this, the children continued to live under the same roof. It was only after Chase's death that the remaining 5 children were removed from the home and placed under Child Protective Services supervision. Alongside the criminal proceedings, Chase's father filed a lawsuit in federal court against 13 CPS employees. The lawsuit alleges that these individuals exhibited grave negligence and willful indifference.
The next question is going to be basically the bulk of your story here. Can you tell me what happened to your son, Chase?
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to write down what you told me, and then you can review it, and then we can ask some other questions if we need to clarify anything, okay? So, you said that your son suffered from numerous medical. He stopped eating
Yes.
for about close to 3 weeks, and then you said you woke up. You don't remember the exact date?
No.
That was the end of March.
Yes.
You discovered that he was deceased.
Real.
You didn't call 911. You were scared that they were going to take your other kids away.
Yes.
So you put him in a laundry bag
Yes.
and took him to the basement and placed him into the freezer.
Yes.
And he's been there ever since.
Yes.
Then today, the police showed up, checking on his whereabouts.
Yes.
And when they said they needed to come inside to make sure he wasn't in the house, you told them to come in and that you confessed.
Yes.
You said he's in the basement.
Yes.
Okay. So that's what I'm going to write down. Is that basically it?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so I wrote down what we just went over. And then remember I asked you where he slept. So where did Chase sleep?
In the second room.
Did he sleep in his own bedroom?
Yep.
Do you remember what time it was in the morning when you found him?
Like 11 or something.
Remember I asked you who all lives in the house, and you said just you and your kids. You said your baby daddy lives in his car in the driveway. And I asked you how many kids you had other than Chase, and you said 5, right?
Yes. How many other people you talk to?
Oh yeah. Well, as far as what do you mean?
They told me I'll be talking to a lot of people.
I think primarily for right now you're going to be talking with me. But there might be 1 or 2 other people, okay?
Okay.
Based on the affidavit and autopsy, prosecutors file charges including felony murder, first-degree mistreatment of a child, torture, concealing the death of a child. Azuradee later accepts a plea deal and pleads guilty to second-degree murder. She is sentenced to 35 to 60 years in prison. This case wasn't hidden because no one looked. It was hidden because excuses replaced action, fear replaced responsibility, and warnings were ignored. Chase depended entirely on the adults around him, and when he needed them most, they failed. Chase Allen spent his short life in literal darkness, but the most terrifying darkness of all was the indifference of those who should have protected him. Azuradee France chose to hide his son's body to continue receiving benefits instead of seeking medical help for a child dying from a traumatic brain injury. Today's true crime case reminds us that the biggest lesson is the need for close monitoring of those accused of harmful treatment. Let's not let indifference claim any more lives. Thank you for your support, and see you tomorrow on Liu Channel.